Let's try where it says your turn, down at the bottom. Okay. Right here, we're ordering numbers from least to greatest and putting them on the number line. So, square root of 5. Okay, we'll just do the first 2 digits. How about that? And then 2.5 is already a decimal, so just leave it. Square root of 3, Seth?
2.
Wait, 2. Okay, so I'm trying to put them in order from least to greatest. So which one is my smallest number, Caitlin? You can do them in your T-chart if you want to. What I would do is put in a 0 anytime they're not lined up, and then look over here. These are your whole numbers, and start at the beginning and see which one's smaller, and then you can go on to your next columns. I would say 1.72 is the smallest, so that means square root of 3 is the smallest. What's next, Kaylee? 2.23, which is square root of 5. And then the biggest would have to leave 2.5. Does the T-chart make sense on how to line things up? Put your whole numbers in front of the decimal. Put your decimals after. If you have a blank spot, just fill it in with a 0, and that way you can line them up. Okay, so now it wants us to put on the number line. I would go back to our decimals we wrote out. That's why I think it's important to go ahead and write them out as the decimals. Don't just do it in your head and write them out. So 2.23, here's 2, here's 2.5. I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere right in the middle of that, right? 2.23. And so I'd put square root of 5 right there on my number line. 2.5 is obviously going to be right at 2.5. 1.72, where would that go, Marissa? Yeah, it's in between 1.5 and 2. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be pretty close. You're not going to know exactly. Which actually I should have called that square root of 3, because that was the original name of it. So we need to know how to put them in order and to know how to put them on a number line. But use your calculators to help you. Okay, let's do one more like that. Again, we're going least to greatest. Kaylee, in your calculator, pi squared, please. I would just, you have a pi button on your calculator?
Second and then pi on it.
Okay. On your calculator, you hit second. The pi button is also the little arrow thing, because see, the little pi is on the arrow, so you have to hit second pi. And then you have a squared button, or you could do your exponent 2 button. Okay, so y'all, I want everyone trying pi squared, so let's make sure we know how to use our calculators on that.
9.86.
Okay? 9.86, everyone get that? If you did not, let me know, because we need to make sure everyone knows how to do the exponents on your calculators. So everyone try pi squared. Okay, let me see. Oh, because you didn't square, Oh, you did the square root of pi. It wants pi squared, so you go pi, there's your squared button. You don't have to hit the second. It will go pi squared.
Okay.
Anyone else need help getting that on your calculator? Okay. Does that just say 10? Yes, okay, so that one's easy. That's just 10. Square root of 75, Lizzie? Okay. So least to greatest, what would you say would come first, Peyton? Yes, the 8.66 is the smallest, so square root of 75. What would come next, Danny? 9.86. So pi squared. And so that leaves the biggest is 10. Okay. Go ahead and try to put it on your number line where you think it goes, and I'll be working on mine on the number line, and then we can check it and see if we got the same thing. No one should definitely miss the 10. That should definitely be the easiest one. So I put square root of 75 a little bit after the 8.5 because it's 8.66, so in between the 8.5 and 9, but I did it closer to 8.5. 10 is obvious, it's just on the 10. And then the square root of 75, no, sorry, pi squared, I put in between the 9.5 and the 10, a little bit closer to the 10. Anyone not understanding how to put it on your number line? Okay. Okay. We're going to move on to page 23. Yeah, this is going to be notes. Let me look at this real quick. Okay, this one is very similar. This is just putting them in order from greatest to least. I'm not even going to go over the example because it's pretty much the same as least to greatest. This time we're just going big to small. But we are going to do the number 7 at the bottom of page 23 where it says your turn. Okay, and then a lot of times it'll give it to you in word problem form, and that's where people are like, oh, I don't even know how to try it because it's a word problem. Let's get that mentality out of our minds. We can do word problems, okay? 4 people have found the distance in miles across a crater using different methods. Their results are given below. So you've got 10 over 3, 3.45 repeating, 3.5, square root of 10. Order the distance from greatest to least. Okay, you should be able to do this on your calculator. So someone do 10 over 3 for me. 3.3 repeating? Or 9.3 repeating? 3. Okay, perfect. 3.3 repeating. I'm just hard of hearing sometimes. 3.45 is already a decimal, so let's just leave that alone. We should know half, so what's 3.5? 3.5. And I need square root of 10. Square root of 10. 3.16. Okay. One where I think our T-chart's going to come in handy with all the decimals. So I've got a 3 decimal 3 repeating. If the 3 repeats, can I write more than 1 3? Yes. I've got 3.45 repeating. So it's going to keep going. 3.5. If I want to make it the same length as the other ones, what could I add to that? A 0. And then I've got 3.16. So now it should be a little easier to put them in order big to small. They all start with 3, so I just want to look at the first number after the decimal. Which one seems to be the biggest one, Seth?
350.
3.50, which I'm going to rewrite as 3.5. What one would be next, Cody?
The 316.
We're going big to small, and he told me 3.5. Yeah, 3.45, which was just the 3.45 repeating. What would be next, Chloe? Very good. And now they wrote that, they wrote that one as 10 over 3. That was the original of that one. And so I usually write it back as the original. Okay. And then the last one has to be 3.16, and I'm going to rewrite it back as the original square root of 10. Okay. Is this confusing, or we get this? Okay, raise your hand if you think it's confusing. Yay! Okay. So we're done with that page. Just make sure you read the words very carefully, least to greatest or greatest to least, because that'll be a big change. Okay, look at the back. I'm not going to do all of these because I want to give you a little bit of time. Are we going to have any time? No, we're not going to have very much time. We're not going to have very much time to go over your assignment, so I'm not going to go over the guided practice with you if you're okay with that. Can I just go ahead and get you started on your assignment? Okay, so all those papers can go in notes.